Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from Wellington, it's the VEC Online League of Legends Tournament. We're bringing you game number 2 of the evening between Team FLACCID and HKC. My name is Crisis, and I'm joined in the studio by none other than Gamestah's own Poon.
Hello, hello. Yeah, in for a very good game. So hope you guys are all hyped. I mean, get the cappers in the chat, and yeah, down with the champ select.
Oh, I should take the game starts in 5 minutes right off because the game has actually started. We're into the champ select and the bans are going down already, Poon. So we had a little bit of an argy-bargy going on in the lobby before, and that's why the game start was delayed because one of the teams wasn't able to get into order because despite being Masters and Challenger level, they don't own all the champions.
Yeah, and also there was a bit of issues in terms of a lot of players on the side of FLACCID can play multiple roles. So HKC wanted to kind of clarify who was playing which role, so they could fix the bans and stuff like that. But both teams obviously, sorted their quarrels out, and yeah, in champ select right now. So we're in for a good game. Hopefully.
Yeah, we had to get Ruby in, and she waved her admin stick and sorted everyone out.
Yeah, ban hammer was gonna come down on someone if didn't sort it out. So very good job by her. Shout out to Ruby.
Big shout out. Okay, so let's have a quick look at these bans, Poon.
Yeah, on the side of FLACCID, they've banned away the Gragas, most likely going to the jungle Gragas, but also the support of HKC plays support Gragas, so that could be a targeted ban there. The Rumble against the top laner, and the Morgana against Saiks as well. So 3 very targeted bans. I mean, Gragas, you could argue, isn't targeted, seeing as Gragas is kind of all around a high tier jungler. And on the side of HKC, they've banned away the Shen, so one of Limes' better top lane champions, and also not wanting to deal with that global presence. The Thresh takeaway, and also the Victor takeaway against Lazarus in the mid lane.
Yeah, they were talking about Victor, and somebody was going to play Victor if he was available. So the question is solved by just banning him out.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, Victor is arguably the best mid laner right now in terms of tier list, being in that god tier. Used to be up there with Azir, but Azir being nerfed slightly with the knock-up changes on his E, and also the passive changes towards his W. So yeah, banning probably the best mid laner left up. So very good ban there, and just smart takeaway.
Alright, so the picks are well in their way. Just let me run through the teams very quickly. On the blue team tonight, we've got Team FLACCID, and that's played by Pabu, Lazarus, Limes, Pro E, or Pro Double E, and Valen. And you were saying something about Valen before, weren't you, Poon?
Oh yeah, both Valen and Pabu, as you can see from the little clan tag, play in Challenger Series. So 2 very good players, and Pabu, from what I've heard, is quite young. So yeah, a bit of a young talent there. I think only 16 years old.
It's a little bit like Reckles.
Yeah.
Or
and
Reckless,
also
or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Reckless and Faker, all those young players. Even we started pretty young. Quickly in the chat, apparently Hamco is saying the header needs to be changed.
Yeah, I fixed that.
Oh,
Team FLACCID
okay,
on the
awesome.
left, HKC on the right.
Yeah,
you would think
awesome.
that with like a 15-minute delay, I'd at least get all of the overlays right, but
And
no.
I mean, and with a clan tag HKC, it's kind of obvious which one is which. But I would judge you on that.
So on the red team, talking about HKC, we've got Dream, Jonty Wanty, Spectre, Saiks, and Saicha. And of course, last week we had a couple of MVPs, and one of them was in fact Spectre. So HKC Spectre picked up the MVP award last week. Didn't see a photograph of the MVP card, so I would love to know whether he's actually received it or not. So the MVP program that Gamestah runs, if we cover one of your matches, ladies and gentlemen, we provide a $10 RP card to whoever the match MVP is going to be. So we are going great guns with that. I finally got myself organized, and I've been sending out $10 RP cards like crazy. So make sure you get your requests in. Just send us a tweet at Gamestah, or send us a message on facebook.com/Gamestah and request your game to be covered. We're looking at extending the MVP program to CSGO as well, Poon.
Oh, CSGO, yeah. I'm not a really big CSGO player. I mean, I'm not the best with aiming,
Yes,
but
not
definitely something good. Yeah, I'm more of a LoL player, as you saw from last game, flashing over walls and such.
Not everything's about you, Poon.
Oh, I mean, being an ADC player, it's very common to be in love with yourself.
Yeah, that's the one. So let's have a quick look then at what these teams are picking up. So we don't know who's going to be playing in what position for Team Flaccid, but we can start to make some judgments around where champions are going to be going. So we've got the top lane is no doubt going to be the Speed Pony up in
Yeah,
their top lane for Team Flaccid. Mid lane will be Oriana, and the bottom lane's going to be, well, we don't know who's going to be, but Tristana in combination with Alistar. Alistar, perennial favourite here in Australia and New Zealand, especially in New Zealand. And in the jungle, we'll have the new returned Elise.
yeah, most definitely. Quite interesting to see the Alistair and Elise being left up. As soon as I saw the Morgana ban, that should have been something that they could have considered. But I mean, with the Victor takeaway, and Victor being the only mid laner left up, that was that strong. I mean, they had to ban the Victor away. So, very well done in the pick and ban phase by FLACCID there, taking the tier 1 jungler right now, which is in the form of Elise, and Valen on a very comfortable champion of his, Alistair. And we'll see to what effect he can do that. But Alistair, Tristana, a very, very high kill pressure lane. So it's going to be up to Saiks and Spectre in the bot lane to try counteract that and not let Valen get those small leads.
Okay, so we actually have both of these teams in the wrong order.
Yeah, both teams, I think, just being spiteful of each other, they just decided to just do whatever. I mean, yeah. But Pro-E, Valen bot lane, which is correct. Lime's the top laner. Oh, no, jungler most likely, since Pabu is the top lane main in his Challenger Series team. And Dream being the jungler, Jonty Wanty mid, Spectre ADC, Saiks support, and Saich's top.
So wait, what are they gonna switch things around or something?
Pardon? Oh no, I'm just not everything's.
Nobody's got smite.
Uh,
Oh, there
yeah,
you go.
okay, so
Sorry,
Pabu's actually playing
let
jungler,
me
which is interesting.
let me just reveal that very quickly. So, ladies and gentlemen, you couldn't see it on the stream because we have the summoner blackout to prevent teams from actually ghosting. But at like the last second, Pabu swapped out his TP for a smite. It was like, what on earth is going on here?
Yeah.
Because it didn't look like they had a jungler.
The no smite jungle.
I was having a little bit of a freak out.
That's good accent right there. I can appreciate that. But as Jumpy mentioned in the chat, the team of FLACCID actually have some components of the Blore delivery system in terms of the Alistair Oriana. So we'll see. CLG used it a great effect last split. We'll see if Valen can channel his, in the Aframu and try get those big shockwaves coupled with Lazarus's ball.
Of course,
So
if Valen doesn't get his pulverized, his headbutt pulverized combo right, they can just put the ball on top of Pro-E.
Yeah, exactly.
And he can just rocket jump in, no problem.
I have champions there, so and Hecarim's always, it's a point and click compared to the WQ of Alistair, which is quite hard to hit for start out players. But Valen being a challenger player, I'd expect nothing more than perfection from him. So
doesn't the Speed Pony's ult kind of cause the team to disperse though because of the fear?
Yeah, it does, but the dispersion is kind of like
it's small enough to stay
slow.
within the radius.
Yeah. If you ult as soon as he hits the center, then it should pull them in time without it dispersing too much. I mean, it's not like a Gragas Oriana, which is like counterintuitive of each other, but yeah, if they can time it properly, they should be fine. And quickly looking over to the team of HKC, I mean, we spoke about FLACCID quite a bit here. They had the Nunu pickup, which is a quite strong jungler. Dream actually having many games on Nunu. I think he's had like 100k skill score thingy, the champion mastery thing.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, 100k. Like
That
that's a lot of games. Pardon?
That is mental.
Yeah, it's crazy. And also Nunu and Azir actually have quite a little bit of synergy there because Azir's soldiers, you want to attack as fast as you can. Spectre on the Sivir, a speed comp coupled with the Maokai in the top lane, very strong also. And also Saiks on that Annie with Sivir speed boost is really good, especially if they can use the on the hunt with a flash Tibbers possibly. If they get ahead, they can really snowball and run away with this game. So it's gonna be interesting. Whoever gets ahead, I feel, is gonna really win this game. But
Well,
it's in the case.
So HKC, are they going to be trying to kind of just repel the ball delivery system in whatever way they can, or kite away from it.
Well, yeah, it's really interesting. Like that's an interesting point because they have Sivir, which is good for engage and disengage with that on the hunt. AOE speed boost. But then Annie's more so known as an engager than a disengager. So it's almost like two heads butting in the middle, and whoever's going to be ahead's going to have that slight advantage for the engage. But I think both teams are looking to engage. But there is the possibility of a peel in the side of HKC. But Sivir, a very short range AD carry compared to Tristana, so Spectre's going to have to position extremely well to try to live through all that.
So we're into the skin battle. This is the first battle of every single game, ladies and gentlemen. And I believe we have a winner because Team FLACCID pulling out the foreskins.
4 skins, we're always looking forward to that, and that's also another inspiration, another reason, to send skins out to the MVPs, try to get more skins in these games. I know it gets you and EJ hyped into those skins, so
yeah. That's why we send RP and not silly things like IP boosts.
Yeah, but
although I kind of feel like I don't think that FLACCID should be spending their RP on skins. They should be buying champions.
Exactly. Maybe the IP boost would have been important for them, seeing as they didn't have all the champions that they needed. But
straight away we got another pause. This seems to be the way that things go, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, because we had a pause earlier on when we were waiting for Batterskull to load. So not really sure who it was. I wasn't paying attention to loading bars or anything like that when we were talking about the skin battle.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about tonight. I mean, once again, without a pause, right? But let's hope it's not as long as the pause that we had in our game. That was quite, quite a wait. Actually, no, unpaused, fairly quickly. And I think a really important part of this early game is going to be, as a coach, the analyst of HKC pointed in the chat, testing, he said, the lane swap scout will be really important because Tristana on the likes of Pro E and also Valen on the Alistair has a lot stronger laning time against someone like Annie and Sivir. So yeah, we see Saiks charging up to stun there in case there's a level 1 fight, and Spectre is going to put down the ward, try to get some vision and try to get the lane swap down. We'll see what they can do.
So shout out to T2NZ who's been commenting quite a bit in the Twitch chat. I didn't realize he was HKC's analyst. So
not T2, testing. Sorry.
Testing.
Yeah. Testing's the analyst. T2, I'm not quite sure who he is, but also big shout out to T2 for his insight and whatever else he's saying.
Well, he was actually the one who said who pointed out in Twitch chat that the scouting the lane swap was going to be really important.
Oh.
So who wants the lane swap here and who doesn't?
I feel as if it's really interesting because I'd really like to see Spectre and Saiks try opt for that lane swap, but the thing is, Tristana, they're going to be BM kill.
Somebody's.
Yeah. As I was saying before, Tristana known for that really, really big turret sieging potential. Trying to fast push those turrets down with her explosive bomb. So it's like if HKC can lane swap and not lose too many objectives, such as towers and such, then it'll be beneficial for them. But they're gonna let him live. Okay, good sportsmanship there.
Yeah, fantastic sportsmanship there. So Pabu lagged out there, and everybody walked away nice and politely. That was really nicely done. So just while the teams are getting their wards down and doing their little bit of scouting, a question in the Twitch chat was around the rule set which was being challenged. So HKC felt that teams had to get themselves in the correct order from top through to support in the team order. Now, the only reason we do that is for the ease of the broadcasters. It's not actually in the rule sets. You don't have to do it. But, of course, it makes viewing a lot easier because you can see on the stream right now, Hecarim is actually the top lane, but he appears to be in the mid lane in the team order. So it's just so that things are a bit easier for all of the spectators to follow.
I think the main reason they wanted to get them in order is because, as I mentioned before, a lot of members of FLACCID can actually play a lot of roles. As I said, Pablo actually a top lane main, but jungling in this game, and Lime's jungled for the whole series at Armageddon. So got a bit of poke actually coming down from Spectre and Saiks. Saiks actually holding on to that stun, but yeah, very good damage there by Spectre using that auto reset on the W, and to much effect actually. Yeah. Jonty Wanty are going to put some damage on Lazarus, see what he can do, try to establish some lane dominance here. But I have to give the advantage in that lane to Azir. I mean, very long range poke, and Orianna takes a while to scale up, so we'll see what he can do.
Oh, sorry, I was looking at what was going on in the bottom lane. In the top lane, we don't have really much going on either. Lime's pushing his lane up a little bit. Not too worried at this stage about getting a gank, but he might have to be because Dream is working his way up the river, accompanying the Scuttle Crab, and might actually decide to transition from there into the top lane. And, well, we don't know whether he actually will. He's only level 2 though, so I guess he's going to go over to pick up his red buff.
Yeah, low on levels there because he tried to go in for the counter jungle on Pabu, try to steal away that blue, but unfortunately got there slightly late. And actually, Saiks is putting a lot of damage down onto the Limes in the top lane, already taking him down to 200 health there. Gonna pick up his red. He might look for a gank after that, but Scuttle control extremely important, seeing as Scuttle gives a lot of vision for the top lane, and so it also gives a speed boost if you were to fight at least in the river, but also gives vision for the top laner so he doesn't get ganked.
Well, the other thing is that Nunu, of course, is a counter-jungling jungler, so you expect Nunu to head on into the enemy jungle and make steals, and if you've got a speed boost waiting to get you in and out nice and quickly, that's got to help.
Yeah, most definitely. It's also important that the lane is, as you see right now, Jonty Wanty actually pushed the lane, that makes sure that the Orianna can't rotate as fast if Nunu did decide to actually counter jungle, because a really dangerous part of counter jungling is if the lane is on the team of the counter junglee. Is that yeah, a late, which can get him killed. But bot lane actually quite explosive lane if one support or ADC oversteps like this.
Oh, they're going in. Valen comes in. He's got. They're focusing on Saiks. Pro Double E going in very, very hard and tries to get himself out, but unfortunately doesn't get taken down. Spectre. Oh, in fact, he does. He gets away with a flash. He flashed so far. I lost sight of him completely. A beautiful play there from Pro Double E.
Yeah, Pro Double E just living on, very, very minimal health. I mean, 10 health or something like that. Actually,
he's almost gone down.
Oh god.
Eats himself a boomerang blade and decides, okay, actually I'm going to get out of the lane and head on back. So nice aggressive play from him there.
Yeah, I was actually going to say that if Pro Double E went down there, the advantage would go to Spectre, seeing as it would have been a ADC kill for support trade, but very, very beneficial trade there for Pro Double E and Valen, and a very good headbutt pulverized there by Valen, seeing that Saiks is out of position, and Pabu and Lime's actually going to sit top and just push this in. I'm not quite sure. Lions might be looking to go back soon. That could be a reason, and they don't want them to freeze the lane, but yeah, we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, I think they might have wanted to go for a tower dive, but they must have detected that Dream was around. Speaking of Dream, he throws an ice ball into the face of Pabu and has got the chase on now. Now, neither of these have red buffs, but Pabu doesn't have a lot of HP and he has no mana whatsoever, so Dream getting the chase on at the moment. He's switching over. It's going to be super close, and then Elise, who's recently been buffed, mind you, takes down Dream.
Yeah, Pabu actually had 2 points in that venomous bite, and that's really what kind of won him that trade in the end. I mean, Dream was down a level, and Pabu did a very good job there repelling the snowball, which mitigated a lot of the damage and a lot of the slow. So very well played there by Pabu, knowing his limits and using the champion to full effect.
I thought he didn't have enough mana to use his skills, but in the end there he takes it away. Pro Double E spotting a pink ward and clearing it out. Nicely done. And is now going to stick around. Spectre knows he's there and does a little bit of a dance, as it's just 2 ADCs at the moment in the lane. Saiks arrives though. He's got his stun primed, and so Pro Double E will be hanging about and keeping his distance, really.
Yeah, I think, as you mentioned before, the Elise having no mana, Elise's Spider Form actually has no mana costs, and Repel doesn't cost any mana either, so might have been a bit of a bait there. Dream not knowing that little niche thing there, but yeah, it's going to be important, again, going in on Saiks. I mean, Valen just knowing his limits, getting some damage down, and not really much return damage going down. Proe's getting some free damage, and this lane going how Proe wants it to go, actually.
Yeah, Pro Double E turns around. He's had a bit of a trade, but he's now turning things around, going on to Saiks, and forces on the hunt to get called. And in the end there, nothing really happens. Nobody gets taken down, but Saiks gets another stun down onto Pro Double E, who is standing and just taking all of the punishment and dealing it back in reply.
As I mentioned before, a very volatile lane in the bot lane with the Annie and the Alistair both looking for kills, and surprisingly enough, neither actually got a kill at the end. But while that was all happening, Pabu actually got the dragon pickup, so very early dragon there, and very good job there, knowing that at least the spiderlings can actually tank a lot of the damage. So well, actually I see Dream counter jungling the blue buff, which is going to be really important because Orianna, very blue dependent, sorry, not jungler, mid laner there. Very not high mana cost.
He might get himself into trouble. He's stuck around, and he's going to get stunned, surely, by Pabu. Oh, long range, beautiful cocoon there. Takes him down, and Orianna is heading up into the river to try and cut him off. So HKC Dream shouldn't have stuck away. Eats up a shockwave, and that's it done. So Lazarus gets not just the blue buff, but a kill and a blue buff.
Yeah, Dream pretty much leashing the blue buff there for Lazarus in the mid lane, and that's what I mentioned before. If Jonty can't keep the lane pushed in and top lane can't keep the lane pushed in, then the laners of the enemy team, so FLACCID in this case, can rotate faster. And Dream maybe staying a bit too long, as you mentioned, and kind of, paid for his mistakes. So,
yeah, I guess he was assuming from the sound of the dragon getting taken down that he was okay because the jungler wouldn't approach there, but just got the timing a little bit wrong because Elise arrived just in time. Maybe his pathing was a bit of a question as well. He should have gone up instead of across towards past the blue buff on his way out.
Yeah, I mean, red being up, so maybe catching him by surprise, but actually working in the favor of FLACCID there. So FLACCID on the ball so far, and if they keep this up, then it's going to be very hard for HKC to kind of claw back.
That's pretty funny.
Hubbard sitting in the bot lane, actually going for a gank, but Spectre doing a very, very nice spell shield there, and spell shielding away the cocoon, and probably saving him, saving himself to trip back to base. A lot of aggression going down the top lane. Saiks gonna have the catalyst to protect us, so a lot of sustain there with his levels. Jonty want to pick up the blue, so gonna be able to spam those soldiers, and actually Valen rotating mid, very trademark of him to try help mid lane as much as possible, but Jonty doing a very good job hugging away to the side where he knows their bot lane isn't, and probably gonna pick up the Wraiths here.
So of course, there's a ward over here, so you'd expect Alistair to head on up to try and kind of get behind a Jonty Wanty, and he would have walked right over that ward and be spotted. So unfortunate for him, not able to make that turn that roam into a gank, and Jonty Wanty stays safe. Let's have a look at where we're at. 10 minutes and 30 into the match. Poon, we've got 1 dragon to 0 and 3 kills to 0 in favor of Team FLACCID, and they're 1,000 gold in the lead.
Yeah, and both teams actually have scaling comps. Actually, good time to pause so we can actually highlight a couple of things. We see that the bot lane of FLACCID here has the BF advantage and a brawler's glove over HKC on the side of Spectre. So bot lane has a lot more kill pressure. Tristana gonna scale up into that hyper carry that we know her for, and Sivir gonna turn into some pseudo speed up / support ADC with some damage in there, but it's gonna be really hard for her to try and deal a lot of damage if his team is behind. I mean, especially in the terms of Nunu. Nunu's gonna turn into a slow machine with a blood boil. So it's gonna be really important for HKC to try make plays with this teleport on Saiks and try catch FLACCID off guard, especially when Valen goes for these roams that he does a lot of the time. And maybe Dream needs to kind of tone back the aggressive counter jungling that he's been doing, because he's getting quite behind doing so. And
he's getting caught. That's the
exactly.
worst situation. Your best case scenario with the counter jungle is that you're able to take advantage, steal the large monsters from each camp, and prevent your opponent from gaining gold and levels from their own jungle. But the worst case situation is where like you said, he effectively provided a leash for Lazarus's blue and gave Lazarus a kill and a blue buff as a result of that, as a result of just sticking around.
Yeah, most definitely. Interesting build here by Pabu. Actually, now opt for that Cinderhulk at least, opposed to the Runeglaive, which is Runeglaive a more damage centric build, but you can still go Cinderhulk into penetration or even a Rylai's Crystal Scepter. So we'll see. We saw that in the Dignitas versus TIP match, a Rush going for that sent Hulk into side zone into Rylai's, so we'll see what he builds here. But 3 tanks and hoping that Orianna and Proe are just starting to be able to do some damage.
So we got both junglers once again meeting in the river. They're both level 7, and Dream is possibly going to be a little bit more wary as he comes in. Limes arrives very, very quickly and forces a flash out of Dream, who gets himself out of there. Maybe was listening to your analysis and decided, actually, you know what, I need to get out of here.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that both junglers are actually on the top side of the map. I mean, top lane is going to be essentially a farm lane.
Oh, an exchange in the mid lane. A shockwave down onto Jonty Wanty. Uses his flash to get away. He's got aggro from the minions, though, so... well, he manages to get away after flashing like that. Great response to Lazarus's shockwave, but in the end, neither of them are taken down. But in the meantime, we had a kill in the bottom lane.
Yeah, actually a beautiful kill there. I should have put on the stream, but Valen thinking he had the upper hand on the bot lane of HKC and going in on Spectre. Spectre living on a minute amount of health, and the turnaround Boomerang Blade with Saiks' combo there to be able to finish off the kill. Valen's actually going to go on Saiks here, try to pick something up. Pabu there for the flash cocoon. Beautiful cocoon there, and a kill going over to Pabu. Slight overstay there by the side of HKC.
Sorry, I was just 2 seconds behind you because I hit the backspace to go and check out what was happening in that bottom lane. But that's all right. No, we're up to, I think it's 12, 30, 31, 32.
Yep. Yeah, perfect.
Sorry, I should have said, let's hit the backspace and check out what happened.
No worries.
I don't know why I didn't do that.
It's alright.
You have to move to Christchurch, man. Come to the studio, the Gamestah
Fortune
studio.
teller, you know? Fortune teller.
There you go. Saicha and Limes, meantime, are exchanging blows up in the top lane. It's kind of neck and neck at the moment. Saicha taking a huge amount of damage because Limes wants to come in, drops his ignite down, forces the flash out of Saicha, and that is, well, it's not quite murder she wrote because he manages to get away. But in the end there, that exchange leaves nobody really at any sort of advantage because both of them still have their TPs.
Yeah, Lime's feeling very confident there, obviously, picking up that Phage. And Phage a big payoff for Hecarim because Phage goes movement speed on auto attacks and also movement speed on Hecarim gets bonus damage, so, it's a double-edged, well, it's not a double-edged sword, just a generally good item there. We have HKC Saiks here picking up the Righteous Glory. It's going to be really important for these team fights coming up. Try to couple that with a Sivir on the hunt. So we'll see what he can do here. Getting back to lane, going to farm it away. And as the analyst of HKC mentioned in the chat, if they don't shut down Azir, if they do shut down Azir, sorry. Oh, actually, talking about Azir, going in now.
Oh, sorry about that. Well, Lazarus having to run for his life, getting poked long range by... Pabu comes in to try and save the day, but HKC Dream is there too. And the counter gank is on. Loads and loads of damage going down from those soldiers, sticking up the backside there. And down in the brush we had lurking, we had little Saiks, the little Annie arriving as well. And that might actually have been enough damage down onto the jungler and the mid laner to put them in an advantage for this dragon.
Yeah, if they can get this dragon within the next 20 seconds or so, Lazarus and Pablo are quite low in terms of being able to contest this. They should really drag this out of the pit actually because it's still in a position for Elise to repel over. Actually gonna just consume that away. And actually a fight going down.
Yeah, Limes gets caught by the Annie stun. He's going to go down. On the hunt is on. So they've taken out one kill after that dragon and now looking for a second one. Everybody else scatters like crazy. That speed boost with the on the hunt as well as the scuttle crab was enough to really turn the acceleration on for HKC. But in the end there, just the one kill.
Yeah, I think it's actually really lucky for FLACCID. They only got away with one death there because HKC was in a really good position to fight, especially with that Righteous Glory on the hunt that I was talking about. And just going to push this turret down. No threat of a gank by Elise because she was quite low on the back end of that fight. But actually going to back off Sight. Sight, you're actually going to go mid.
Yeah, Lazarus gets a twisted advance, wrapping around the ankles, but that was all. It was kind of more like a hug, and off the tree went. And nothing else after that.
Yeah, actually being told in chat by Tito and Zed, no other, that Saiks what we've been calling him is actually Saichi, like Tai Chi more than S.
Oh, right, okay, Saichi.
Yeah,
Nicely.
well, I pronounced it wrong the whole of Armageddon as well, apparently.
Oh, yeah, I was calling him Suchu or something like that.
Yeah, because Saiks and Saichi, you can almost pronounce them the same if you wanted to. So, interesting name.
Hey, Tidu, I know that A reveals a team fight overlay. What I wanted to do was show the whole of the Dragon Pit at that stage and try to get Elise in view. So it was really an attempt to get as much on the screen as possible around that Dragon Pit area in the lead up to that fight. So
That's
thanks
all right.
for the tip, mate.
I trust your judgment. I mean, yeah, but as we saw in the fight there, HKC kind of clawing back this lead and actually only down 300 gold. So going from a 2k deficit to minimal amount of gold, just CS differences at this point. Matching the dragons, which is good. Not letting actually some fight going down on Pro E and Expector being up, popping the ult, and Saiks probably gonna be able to catch up here with a Q.
Yeah, they got the chase on the flash from Pro E a moment too late. Saiks comes in with a stun. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, there's a huge push going on here. Jonty Wanty got pushed off. It is a 3 versus 2 now, though, with Dream arriving. And so they're able to defend the turret. Annie in the wings looking to come in. Of course, doesn't have his Tibbers available to spawn and get the stun in. But he's arrived there. The cavalry is here together. And a lot of focus right now in the mid lane means that Spectre gets an opportunity to take down this bottom lane turret. And after a very, very strong start from FLACCID, it's HKC seem to be pulling themselves back in the mid lane.
Yeah, almost dropping the ball after initial really strong start. Actually failing to go for top lane roam, but not much damage here. Limes is going to be able to hit him back, and he's probably just going to pop the Righteous Glory and just Q out of there. Actually, might turn this with a Saiks and Dream being there.
Yeah, beautiful roam there. Limes gets stunned. The flash from Saichi to make sure that he gets the kill. The flash headbutt from Valen makes sure that there's a reply kill. And in the end there, it's a 1-for-1 exchange in the top lane there with 3 players from Team FLACCID sticking up in the top there to defend against the push from 3 players of, well, in fact, they're all blue pilling, so Valen gets prevented from getting out of there. Meanwhile, the split push King Spectre takes down yet another turret.
Yeah, Spectre just channeling his inner double lift right now and trying to get objectives where he pleases. Probably actually trading the mid lane turret for the bot lane turret. Not a trade that I'd personally make, especially since the mid lane turret tier 1 is a very integral part of opening up the map and getting that deep vision into their enemy side jungle. Valen still hasn't backed yet and still sitting this top lane. Dream might be getting caught out here. Actually trying to deny him that grump, but should be picked up quite easily.
Yeah, comes through, walks around, and this time he had friends around him, so he wasn't at too much of a risk of getting himself punished for getting caught out. And walks around the corner, uses his smite, so finishes off the counter jungle there nicely. Of course, we saw Azir getting the blue buff taken away from Lazarus. So that was well done. Gets his, what is it, sun turret, I think it's called?
Oh, I've no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be. I'm not quite sure, yeah. I never took notice it was passive, But, actually, interesting mention in the chat. We see Jonty Wanty going for the Nomicon opposed to the Nash's 2 first, which we've seen recently since the Azir changes. So, see how that, differs from, what Faker and Easy Hoonan that have been building, which is the the Nash's Tooth into Rylai's, I believe, which is quite a strong build, especially with the changes to Azir. But Jonty Wanty going to probably go for that Nomicon into Abyssal Scepter, so we'll see how that works out for him. Going to be able to easily wave clear here under the turret. No threat of a turret dive or anything like that. Team being close enough to help. Oh yeah, Tidu. It's called Sun Disc.
Oh, there you go, the Sun Disc. So, for a moment there, I thought HKC, who were doing very, very well with their rotations just before, were going to get caught out because Jonty Wanty was a lone defender underneath his turret, and there were 4 champions from FLACCID in the mid lane pushing that lane. But Azir's wave clearing power really came to the fore there, and he was never really at any sort of risk at this stage. So we're into a bit of a quiet period, ladies and gentlemen. 21-minute mark coming up. Almost neck and neck in terms of the stats. We've got 5 and 4 the kills in favor of FLACCID, but the gold leader swung in favor of HKC, and we're up to the next dragon. And both of these teams, Poon, have demonstrated the will and the desire to maintain domination over the dragon pit.
Yeah, quite a bad situation I feel for HKC here. Spectre still hasn't bought yet. I think sitting on 800 gold. That's already a Zeal. Zeal being a big, well, not a big spike, but a noticeable spike. If they can drag this out with Nunu, they can easily take this fast. Lime's actually being too low to TP in here, so if they can force something now, then they might get the favorable fight.
Well, he's blue pilling, and so time is running out. Pabu, meanwhile, trying to clear out that pink ward, might get himself into a bit of trouble because Dream is chased up after him. There's all sorts of stuff going on all around the dragon pit at the moment, but nobody really in a position to do anything. Limes comes through. He's got his home guards going on. It's all on, ladies and gentlemen, as Pabu gets stunned down. He gets himself out because his flash was up. Now it's everybody getting knocked about. Nobody, well, the Hecarim got himself isolated, gets taken down. It's a 5 versus 4, and in the end there, FLACCID deciding, well, we're going to have to pull out now because Oriana's down 2, and this is dragon number 2 going over to HKC.
Just beautifully played there by HKC, using their team comp to full effect. They used Spectre's ult on the hunt to disengage, and then they used Saiks with the Annie to flash ult, hit 3 priority members, and cleaned up from there on in. I mean, they had the home guards teleport, which is really strong on the Hecarim there, but Hecarim only finishing Sheen and Phage at this point. Not that strong and not tanky at all, really. So, very, very good fighting there by the side of HKC, and Curry being a bit late to that fight, not really offering much, and going to be forced off that objective and get their second dragon there.
Well, the other swing that's just happened is the kill score. So out of that 2 for nothing, we had 5 to 4 the kills in favor of FLACCID, and it's switched around now 6 to 5 in favor of HKC. And HKC continue to build their momentum into the into the mid game. 3k the gold lead, 2 dragons in favor of just the 1, and 2 turrets in favor of just the 1 as well.
HKC can look for that sweet spot, which is the 3rd dragon, going to get that bonus movement speed, add with the Righteous Glory, the Sivir on the hunt. It's going to be a very, very good spot there for them. Actually, HKC going to push Pabu off this, and actually might get the kill here, going to have to repel soon. Actually, he's going to go down there, so Spectre, very fast auto reset with his Ricochet, and show some champion mastery there. Going to push down this turret, hopefully, going to get some more gold in their pocket, but the jungler there on the side of FLACCID not going to be up, so they may feel a bit confident to push this in, and probably stuck in the mid lane with Jonty, so see what they can do to kind of capitalize on the situation.
Spectre doing fantastic damage at the moment. He's finished his... Oh, hang on. We got Limes getting caught out again, or is it Spectre who's gotten caught out? In fact, it's Spectre. The shutdown goes on to the Oriana, and, well, straight after that, his support gets taken down. Valen picks up the kill there, so he'll be quite pleased with that by a few extra wards as Saichi decides to get himself away. Might have made a bad call there by stopping underneath the turret for a moment there, but the ping goes through from his team, and Valen turns back and gives up the chase. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, this is a great little trade here for those kills in the bottom lane. We've got Dream and Jonty pushing on this mid lane second tier turret, but Pabu doing a great job pushing them away.
Yeah, Pabu doing a very good job there. Actually, just gonna go and kind of tease them, try to be cute, and then just repel out of there, and actually blowing Dream's absolute 0 there. So did a good job of holding that turret and making sure that it didn't go down. And Pabu, yeah, picking up that Rylai's Crystal Scepter that I was talking about, gonna get that slowdown. And at least his base damages, since a lot of them are percentage damage, there's a lot of damage just coming through there. Tons of damage if I was, being freak. And but very good optimization there by Pabu, and
Saiks is going to get caught out because in comes Pabu around the flank, and Valen gets his combo down easy as you please. The knock-up stun persists while Saiks stands there and takes all the damage, gets taken down. It is 8 kills to 8, and a pause getting called. Well, I'm not sure what the reason is there. Good time to take stock though. So 8 and 8, neck on neck in terms of kills. 3 and 3 the tower kill score. So really the only advantage at the moment for HKC is that second dragon over just the one for Team FLACCID.
Yeah, most definitely. And we saw FLACCID's comp just in full effect right there. We see that Valen used that Righteous Glory and got the pick. So if HKC does that again and mispositions slightly, then it's going to be really bad for the side of HKC. I mean, they're going to get caught out like that and pile on the CC with the repel. No, sorry, not the repel, the cocoon, should I say. And Lime's using that charge very well, going to reposition Saiks to pick up that kill. Only one kill though, but the main form of engage with Saichi not going to be up. So it gives us a bit of a grace period. I mean, 30 seconds here for Valen and his team to kind of set up vision, try to get jungle wards. They already have jungle wards around the Baron side. They might even opt for a Baron fight here, which is kind of risky, but still doable. So we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, I'm going to say that there probably wouldn't be a Baron fight, because even though Annie's down and there's no hard CC available, because I don't think Twisted Advance isn't hard CC, is it? It just roots them. It doesn't prevent them from attacking.
No, yeah, it's just the root. So
yeah, no real hard CC available, but you'd be foolish to ignore the capabilities of a consume smite situation on a Nunu.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, what would usually be a 50-50 with any other jungler turns into, an 80-20 with Nunu, but at least, though, has a potential to execute with a Q, so both very objective-oriented junglers, but just going to opt for the jungle clear and go back to their own lanes, just going to pick up that slight advantage by killing Annie, but not getting much off it.
So things kind of hanging in the balance at this stage as we have another pause. Poon, because we're edging towards the late game. We're still firmly within the mid game, but in about 5, maybe 10 minutes, we're starting to head towards the late game. And things might start to look a little bit more positive for Team FLACCID as that Tristana starts to really accelerate. Yeah,
most definitely. It's going to be important for both teams to get that really the better engaged, should I say. If Valen can get 2 to 3 man knockups, or Saiks can get that 3-man tibbers like he did around that dragon fight, it's going to really switch the tides of the battle. It's going to be really important to try couple that on the hunt with the Righteous Glory. It's weird to see that Saiks actually went for the Crucible. There's not many things that you can Crucible oppose, apart from the Cocoon, but positioning can kind of counteract that. I would have preferred to see something like another Righteous Glory, or even something AP such as Luden's Echo, just to try burst the backline of FLACCID, but
you wouldn't use a Crucible to try and clear the fear from Hecarim, would you?
Well,
it's too short.
You're going to be fear as well, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's not impactful enough to be Crucible worthy. If anything, it'll be the Cocoon, which is the only actually hard CC. I mean, you can't cleanse the knockup by Alistair. You can't cleanse Shockwave. So yeah, interesting call.
Big task for both of these support players tonight, and that's a lesson for you there at home, ladies and gentlemen. Don't knock playing support. I know that for some reason people don't seem to favour it, but man, there's such big responsibility on the support. Well, we've got a Righteous Glory getting called now. Valen looking very dangerous as Hecarim comes in from the back, looking to create something out of his TP there, but well, it's all a bit messy at this stage as PWE gets caught out. He flashes away though, as it's very messy at this stage. But the first to go down is Lime, who's stuck around in the back line. Spectre getting all those crits down though. In reply, we have the jungler going down. Double kill onto Elise. It's going to be a triple. No, just 1 kill in the end there, going over to Pro Double E, but Spectre getting taken down. Spectre taking down Elise, my bad. As Elise really trying to go in there for possibly a triple.
Yeah,
maybe a bit too greedy.
Going crazy in that fight. We just saw the damage, the raw stats by Elise there, doing a lot of damage to the backline of HKC. And what we saw at that fight, we saw a favorable start by HKC, but Valen and his team could still got out enough, with that unbreakable will, and they turned it around. Probably having, apart from the start, good positioning, and John T actually went for a bit of a streamer shuffle there, but unfortunately didn't really hit anyone with the Emperor's Divide, which kind of force him to kind of back off and try to cleanse the Tristana bomb, but you can't cleanse Tristana bomb, so dying on the back end of that. But very good fight there by FLACCID and knowing their limits. Even though what seemed like an unfavorable fight turned into a really good fight for them, but they're going to rush this dragon down hopefully and get this third dragon. Pug might look for the steal, and team of Limes in his team not only in position.
Well, they've got the stun down onto Pabu. He had the ball on top of him, and he repels away just to delay his death more than anything else. Dream switching over to the dragon, making sure he secures it, and on the hunt, getting the flashes out of FLACCID and forcing them away. That is 3 dragons to 1 now. Very, very good, aggressive and decisive play really from HKC.
Yeah, and HKC have the advantage here. Actually, nothing.
Straight away, another flash coming, or sorry, a Tibbers coming down, getting the stun down. Valen's going to go down as well. So beautiful play there. Jonty Wanty picking up that kill as the blue turret gets destroyed. And Poon, would you believe they're heading straight up to the Baron?
Yeah, Baron, definitely the most, well, sorry, not the most, just the best call right here. I mean, Dream being pretty low, but going to consume, probably live up. Actually, they can get Tibbers to tank with Saiks. Dream actually might get killed by Baron, actually going to consume that away. And no contestant, very, very fast Baron taking that Blood Boil and consume. And a very, very big objective taken off the map due to some really good rotational plays in Saiks with that Tibbers making them really, really good engages.
And so, just like that, Poon, things were hanging in the balance, and you just got the sense that FLACCID was starting to turn things around. The team fight before, they had won. It was really messy in the ideal spot in that mid lane where they could just do whatever they wanted. And unfortunately, next thing you have, the dragon, the next dragon fight, and straight away the advantage very, very firmly back into HKC's hands.
Most definitely. I feel like Pub was a bit overzealous there and a bit too eager to go in for the dragon steal. I mean, his team wasn't in a position at that dragon fight, and one of the big carries in the team fights, if you will, in the form of Pabu on the Elise, got taken away before the fight even started, really. So using those slight leads and advantages to get the mid lane turret and also kill some other members and get that dragon. Sorry, Baron, should I say? So it's going to be really easy for them to push down these turrets. It's going to be hard for FLACCID to try counteract these, especially with the dives, because they have a pretty big Maokai here with Saiks also doing extremely well. So actually quite late rotation here, but Jonty's not in a position to help, and that might hurt HKC.
Yeah, well, so HKC kind of telegraphing that they're pushing this top lane with the Baron buff, leaving Azure to push the mid lane, and somebody might get caught here. Valen goes in, gets a knock up onto Saiche, but Spectre is the target. He's isolated Spectre. How is he surviving? He's managed to stay alive as ProEE off screen manages to pick up a kill. Spectre somehow manages to stay alive despite getting isolated there and focused by the headbutt from Valen, and things looking very, very, very good at the moment. Well, I suppose it's just one kill for one, Poon, but the advantage still with HKC.
I guess that's why you run Crucible there, actually saving Spectre's life, making the Ignite tick go away, and also, yeah, 1 for 1 in the end.
So the Crucible cleared the Ignite and got him to survive. I think he popped his heal as well, just to make sure.
Yeah.
But very, very good done. Well done.
I assumed there'd be more kills in that fight, but only 1 for 1 actually. But they still haven't used this Baron buff efficiently yet. They haven't got anything off it, apart from raw stats, AP and AD increase.
Yes, Saichi at the moment, the only one really pushing a lane. He's got the minions with him, and well, he'll try and attract a little bit of attention there. Spectre gets down to the bottom lane. How much of the Baron buff has he got left? Just about a minute. We've got a huge focus, 3 champions on top of Saichi at the moment, but he is Maokai, and the Maokai is too strong, and he has done exactly what he needed to do. He's got the distraction in long enough for the push to get down onto this bottom lane. Lazarus, the only one defending here, and he does the right thing. He stands and watches from a distance, because that's really all that you can do in that situation, Poon.
Yeah, Saichi just, talking to his jungle folk there and just getting out of there, twisted advance to his friend, and doing what he can, and did a very good job there. Opened up the map for HKC to pick up a turret, dragon up in a minute and a half. We'll see HKC try to back here, set up some vision, try to clear away some wards. I'd like to see more pinks on the side of HKC actually, because pink's extremely important in games like this to try to deny vision and also give vision. So we'll see what HKC does around this dragon, but I'd like to see them clear a lot of these wards and make sure that FLACCID can't kind of re-get into this game, because right now they got the driving seat by far.
Yeah, I've got to say at this stage that the objective control of HKC has been really, really good. You see them blue pilling a full minute and 20 seconds before the dragon spawns, in comparison to FLACCID, who were doing things like blue pilling with 30 seconds to go, so not really getting themselves in position. Of course, on blue side they have a slight disadvantage around dragon control, and really HKC have driven home that advantage over and over again, forcing a flash on Pabu at the moment. So, well, they have the advantage again. They're going to get a little bit of not so much position, sorry, not so much vision as position. While in the top lane we have another turret go down. Saichi doing a split pushing beast of the job.
Yeah, Saichi's obviously stronger at this point in the game, and doing what he needs to do, getting the turret and getting some extra gold in the pockets of HKC, being a level up on Limes there, and HKC actually playing on the back foot, trying to I don't know, giving a lot of respect over to Valen and Lazarus with that ball delivery system. And actually Hamco wanting a shout out, so shout out to Hamco doing a very good job modding the chat, and everyone else that's here.
Doing a fantastic job. Big shout out to Hamco. And to the boy, he's an HKC fan, so shout out to HKC from Hamco.
Yeah, you know, Hamco, the 016 dream. This is a ranked record before we started playing again. But gonna get the scuttle across, really important for these dragon fights, that movement speed. Actually,
Valen flashing through, and the ball is on him. Spectre getting away by the hair of his teeth. It's unbelievable that he survived. Pro picks up the first kill. In comes the Emperor's Divide, though. Jonty Wanty picking up a double kill and turning things around. Things might go badly wrong, though, for Spectre. Valen trying to pick up the kill there, but what an absolute domination from HKC in that team fight, Poon.
My lord, yes, Spectre just pretty much just ulting and doing nothing else in that fight. Jonty Wanty just hard carrying that fight on the Azir, just dealing so much damage, and I mean, the Crucible not even being used again, so still questioning that itemization, but, you know, I'll give him a break for now.
Hey, it saved him once, and that means it's worth.
Yeah, but Spectre just not even being a factor in that fight, having to flash out and getting caught out, but HKC doing a very good job turning that fight and, you know, getting down the carries, and Jonty doing a lot of damage on that Victor, showing that Victor's still a strong champion in this meta.
Well, if you haven't been counting, ladies and gentlemen, check out the dragon score. That is the 4th dragon going to HKC, and that is a commanding position to be in. They have really controlled that dragon. It's been their focus right from the start. Well, they lost the first dragon only to the Elise, who got the sneak in there, but after that it has been one-way traffic for the dragons, and man, have HKC made sure that they have gotten that. Baron spawns?
Yeah, HKC actually realizing their win conditions. I mean, if they got to this stage of the game and both teams were even in gold and dragons, then it would be very unfavorable for the side of HKC, seeing as they have Tristana, you know, that hard carry. And Pabu actually down on levels. Saichi is actually going to go for the engage, and Pabu getting caught out here.
On the hand, gets called. They get into range, nice and easy. Valen with a bit of a knockup. Sorry, Limes getting the fear in to try and spread things about, but it is not enough. It's really just delaying things. We got the first one go down. That's Valen, who got himself into the front line. Double stun going down, and that sets up the double kill for Azir. In fact, he's going to pick up the quadra out of that, and really was denied a pentakill there with that first kill going down. And now HKC pushing into the base right now, not even waiting for the minions to arrive, because they want those for the Nexus turrets. Not even going back to Baron. They're figuring they can close it out, Poon.
Yeah, most likely going to be able to close this out. I mean, Sivir with the Blood Boil, it's going to be extremely hard for Valen to hold this by himself, but we saw there Saiks actually throwing away his KDA just to get that last stun off, which actually won them the fight in the end, and very well played by HKC, a very hard fought battle, and very close down to the last minute, and extremely well played there by both teams.
What a game, ladies and gentlemen. The early game Well, after a few missteps, it looked like FLACCID had the early game well in their hands, but old HKC managed to start coming back, and into the mid-game, Poon, they just took control.
Yeah, I mean, give them a taste of the blood and they'll take your whole head off. I mean, that was, the story of the game. HKC playing the objective game, playing to their win conditions, and big shout out to HKC's coach Poon, already doing his job there. I joke, a little plug in there, but no, very well played there, and I think the top laner Limes just got too far behind there, couldn't do the functionality of a Hecarim, but very well played there by both teams, and standout performances by Spectre there on the server. Only one death to his name.
Yeah,
also John T.
And unbelievable how many times he came close to dying. It was just absolutely phenomenal how he managed to escape. So he will be watching this. I'm pretty sure he doesn't know either. So hopefully he'll watch the VOD later on and go, oh yeah, okay, that's what it was, and realize that it wasn't all just luck. It was certainly the item of the game. MVP, most valued item, MVI, was that Crucible saving that 1 tick of the Ignite.
Most definitely. I mean, it's quite interesting because looking at just the team comps just off the bat, you'd think that FLACCID would have the late game advantage, but HKC, throwing caution to the wind, just going with what they know how to do and team fighting perfectly. I mean, the tanks doing their job, using Righteous Glory and the anti-engage to full effect, and as I said before, Saiks actually dying to get that two-man stun off at the end. A lot of support sort of just ran away there, but he really won that fight for them, coupled with Jonty's just sheer damage on that Azir being a late game monster.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a game it was. Team FLACCID versus HKC. Both teams doing just an absolute brilliant job tonight. But in the end there, HKC setting up their own win conditions, getting those dragons, picking up it was about a 25-minute Baron, and doing what they needed to do to just dominate in those team fights. Beautiful play. We've got to pick an MVP, and I think, well, Poon, you mentioned Spectre and Jonty Wanty. Are we leaning towards Jonty Wanty with the quadra kill there?
Well, surprisingly, I wouldn't give it to either of them. I'd actually give the MVP to Saiks there, winning a lot of the fights with those beautiful anti-ults and the engages, but I mean, obviously, Jonty Wanty and Spectre doing extremely good jobs there, but for me, I have to give it to Saiks.
All right, well, I'm not going to argue with the expert on the commentary team, ladies and gentlemen. So congratulations to Saiks. What you need to do is hit me up, just send me a message in game and tell me your real name and your mailing address, and I will be sending, well, Gamestah will be sending you an MVP award. There's $10 in RP coming your way. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. We'll be uploading both of these VODs to the Gamestah YouTube channel, Gamestah TV. Or you can just search for Gamestah TV. And when they're up there, hope you head on over there, pick up some of the action, and enjoy the match as much as we did. Poon, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thank you for joining me as well, Crisis. Very good job there as usual. Quick shout out to Hamcode, put me up to this. Shout out to HKC coach Kwan and HKC Hamco being the manager there. So very good coaching staff there by HKC, obviously, and thank you everyone for coming and watching us and letting us do what we love. Definitely hit up Crisis because I'm not quite as organized as him. If you guys want to watch some, I want us to shoutcast your games. I mean,
Facebook.com/Gamestah and ask us there, and we'll cover your games. There you go.
Yeah, a pleasure as always. Thank you, everyone.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. This is Crisis and Poon signing out.